Hey guys, welcome to the studio and come on in. And what you saw me just doing there, I was playing my hardware synth, and I just want to talk briefly about hardware synths and give you my 2 cents on why I think they're really a good value nowadays. Of course, there's a lot of plugins, especially with I'm going to call the king of the heap, like Omnisphere and stuff like that. But and I use Sonar, and you get a lot of included. Software synths with Sonar, Zeta, for instance, Rapture, Rapture Pro, Dimension Pro. Those are all great synthesizers. Spit that word out. But any rate, I'd like to talk about the hardware synths, and I'm using a Roland XP80. This is probably a 15, 20-year-old keyboard. And I think they're a great value. I've had a lot of Rolands over the years, and I might recommend that you keep your eyes open for picking up a used one, and try it out, make sure that it's working. A lot of things like the LEDs will go out or something like that, but you can get some great values on these keyboards. And this is also doubling as my MIDI input. It's velocity sensitive and everything, and so. But what I really like about it is that this particular keyboard, Roland, has some expansion cards, and like I say, the expansion cards are pretty inexpensive nowadays too. And I've got it loaded up with orchestral and organ, and like you heard some of them there, and you can get some great sounds, and I think they really still are relevant nowadays. And what I like is just being able just to plug in, and I've immediately got an organ sound. Now I've also got I don't know if you can see it over here in my patch bay. I've got a Roland JV 2080. That's a rack version. That's basically this, but you can load it up with the 8 expansion cards, and we're talking about thousands of sounds from nice brass sounds, orchestral sounds, and a lot of pads, strings, and all that. And so I like having the setup here. And like I say, if you go out shopping in your Wise, you can pick these things up for approximately the price of a good software synth. But it allows you just to go ahead and quickly plug in. I can layer an organ sound with a string sound, and I'm not saying you can't do that with your computer inside the computer, but it enables me to do this quickly. And I think some of the software sounds uh, might be a little bit better in some instances, but I think some of the hardware sounds. I think I've got a an organ 6070 expansion card, I think it was called, but it has about 50 or 60 organ sounds. Everything from the Doors to Blood, Sweat, and Tears to Stevie Winwood's Traffics to uh, you know, some really great organ sounds. If you want to play House of the Rising Sun, it's got that. It has Farfisa and of course all the roads and everything. But I think they're wonderful sounds. Uh, Now I think just kind of venturing on some of the sounds that I think some of the piano sounds I think are fine in a mix, and I think some of the keyboard purists might say, "Oh, these Roland piano sounds they don't cut it anymore. They're too dated," and that might be the case. But I think in a mix, at least for me, they work just fine. And maybe if you noticed in the beginning, I'm not really a keyboard player. I'm a what I would call a keyboard owner, but certainly in a lot of the music that I do, or a lot of the pop music or rock and roll music, the keyboard parts, I'm not showing off my keyboard chops. I'm just trying to create some good music, so to speak. And it works great. If I just need some brass sounds or some string sounds or something like that, this guy comes in great. And of course, this has zero latency. But with my system, that's not really an issue because I can monitor with really low latency if I'm using my software plugs. But at any rate, I really like my old beast here, and so I think, like I say, it's a great value. And I've had a lot of, like I say, Rolands over the years. I've had some little guys, and when I was playing out live, you could pick up these little guys for $150, $100. And so you could use one keyboard for your organ sounds and piano, and then have the other one just for strings. And so you can layer them all together, and it's really a good way to change patches in a live situation, or to layer sounds and such. But at any rate, that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it, and that's really all I wanted to say. Just kind of open up your eyes to some possibilities that you might think about. Anyway, you guys keep on rocking, keep on tickling the ivories, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.